Hi, it's Faye from Faye's Journal Emporium. Welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a few minutes since I have videoed anything. Life gets in the way. We've had some medical issues with my husband. He wound up having open heart surgery quite unexpectedly, and he's doing wonderfully, no problem, but it just kind of took up some time. So I started this journal about in May. And I was inspired by Carol Laws. She had done a wonderful, wonderful journal using some papers from the paper Cameo. And I have used those digital kits and copied, plagiarized, whatever, some of her ideas. I know she was willing to share them with everyone, but it's been a lot of fun. So it just took me a while to get back to continue working on the journal. So bear with me. It's a big, big journal. I never seem to know when to quit adding things. And I did want to say thank you to all my new subscribers, and thank you to those of you who have followed me for these 3 years. It's been quite an adventure for me. So let's get started. She measures 6 inches by 9, has a 2-inch spine. The pages are actually 8 1/4 by 5 1/4, and there are 5 signatures with a total of 204 pages. There are lots and lots of room to journal. I have used a fabric cover. Oh, I should start out by saying this is a vintage copy of a vintage postcard that I had, and it was all beat up, and so I kind of beat it up too. There's the back of it. It was from, I'm not sure if it looks like it might be German. And then I've added a little tiny bottle. This is from Tim Holtz. And there is actually a little tiny shell. I don't know if you can see that or not. But I love the beach, and whenever I go to the beach, I collect shells. So that's where that comes from. So you can journal on the back of this. I'm going to take it out for the moment. I've used some, and I have no idea where I got this. It's like a netting, and then there's a little cardboard starfish and a shell from the Graphics Fairy, and then this is the side and the back. This is a fossil fern fabric. It ties shut with a sari silk closure, sari silk, and the interior, come on, Faye. The interior of the journal cover is a wonderful vintage pillowcase, and it had all this great staining on it and these little tucks, and I just thought it was wonderful. There's a little bit of rust here. The other side of it had a lot of rust, and then on the back of it I've used that also. I covered the spine. Usually I have a soft spine, but because it was 2 inches, I wanted to put a cardboard, so there's or cardstock in between the 2 layers of fabric and the Pellon that I use. And then I've used a tea-dyed piece of canvas and frayed it, and that's what's going on with the spine. So this is a wonderful, wonderful kit by the paper Cameo. I've used some of Sam Poole's papers also, some things from the Graphic Fairy, from Antique Paper, Ruby and Pearl, Crafty Cat, Victoria Designs, and Mad Paper Crush. And I'm not going to point out each one as we go. I'll list those below. So this was I cannot remember who I got this idea from. This is Graphics Fairy, and it's just like a tuck spot, and it's a pocket, and it's got this wonderful little illustration of a mom and a baby mermaid. So that just tucks in here, and this is part of that wonderful kit. There's a little card here. So we've got some journaling space there. I've used the kits that Carol used also. I think there were 5 or 6 different ones, so I have followed along with what she did. And Carol, I'm sorry, I absolutely copied this from you. Used an envelope, and then if you can see this, there's a tuck spot up here with a journaling card, and then there's a This is, I believe, from Artie Mae's, from her kit. And all of the envelopes have the same thing. They all have a piece of tea-stained or coffee-dyed paper in them. So I won't open each of those as we go. And then there's a little tuck spot here, and all of my tags have journaling space on the back. And then I've done some stenciling, tea-dyed papers. This is from Sam. And then these are Graphics Fairy. Love, love these shells that they did. Avocado dyed paper. I dye my own paper. I love doing that. Some stenciling again. Some washi tape. As I said, beautiful illustrations from the Paper Cameo. This is also hers. Little tuck spot here with a little shell. Some stamping. This is from a vintage book I have on birds, and you'll see each signature has an illustration stamping. And then I've used, paint chips. I collect all these wonderful aqua colors because I absolutely love them. So you're going to see a few of the paint chips in here. And I love the names of the colors: Sweet Dream, Aqua Haze, Captain's Cove, Tidal Pool, Aegean Sea, and Blue Paradise. And this just tucks in here. Some washi. And then I have used for the center folds on the three main signatures, I have used calendar illustrations and just put a piece of other paper, digital paper behind it. These are from Sampool. And I just love the way it looks. I used, come on, Faye, glue stick to adhere them to each other, and then stitched around the edge so they wouldn't peel up. And then I've added beads and little charms to the centerpieces. And this idea came from Wendy at Wendy's Journal Adventure. She had been to the dollar store and purchased some of these little things, and they're just adorable. And I followed along and did a little her tutorial that she did on these, and I just think they're super cute. And I thought I'd just tuck a couple of them in here since I had made them already. Some vintage stamps. And then I love vintage photos of children at the beach. So there's quite a few in here. And this is a couple of the tags from the different kits. And then this flips, and there's journaling space on the back. And I cannot remember who this idea came from. I'm sorry, I apologize. But it was a video that I watched. And then I've just added, I usually add a bunch of sari ribbons or ruffles, and I decided I would just add one to each signature. And this is using the, this is chiffon ribbon, and it just reminded me of Seafoam. Washi, another one of those wonderful envelopes that comes with the kit. So another flip. This picture came from Crafty Cat, and I just think it's adorable. That gal holding her shoes, and there's journaling space on the back of that. It just tucks in there. And I've used coffee-dyed and tea-dyed papers. This is printed on some coffee-dyed parchment. There's stenciling, and it's huge pockets. Paper Cameo has just the most wonderful ephemera, and her pockets are so cute. I love them. Put a bunch of stuff in there. And then I cannot remember again whose idea this was, but I've watched a video on it and made some quite a while ago. And it's using the plastic that you get in some of the packaging, and then using alcohol inks and stamping in white, and they just darling little bottles. It's a Tim Holtz die cut, and then these little tags, and I put a piece of vellum to make the pocket. And then this is rice paper. And then I love this idea. I saw this from Wendy, and this is, I put this in another journal too. It's a huge pocket or envelope where you can just put a bunch of ephemera in here, things that you've saved. This is a vintage nautical map that I absolutely love. And I have several of those. And then it just ties shut. And in the back, there's a little tuck spot. There's some illustrations from the Graphics Fairy. I think this one is also. And I thought this was appropriate, salt and freshwater fish. So you can journal on that also. Some more washi. I love this background. Another one of the fish tags, another one of the children's illustrations or photos. Oh, and this are from the Graphics Fairy too. I cut out some fussy cuts of some of the turtles. And then this is a vellum pocket that I made using, printed on vellum using Graphics Fairy. And then this is from Artie Mays. And then behind it is a tuck spot. And this is also from the Graphics Fairy. It's a large journaling card. Stamping. Flip, more journaling space, again, Graphics Fairy. And it's a piece of cardstock that I put in, folded over, some more ruffling, avocado, and then this flips out, and this little picture comes out. You can journal on the back of that. Love that little girl with her bucket and shovel. Some more journaling opportunities. And then this centerfold is so beautiful with this lavenders. And I use some lavender beads, and there's a little turtle. Love this picture too. And then this is a illustration from the Graphics Fairy, and I just used the entire page and glued it like that. And then this is your journaling tag. Some more tags. Another one of those wonderful photos, and it flips, and there's another little tag in here. And here's the other side of that piece of cardstock. It's from Junk with Stuff. Take me to the ocean, let me sail the open sea, to create the warm and salty air and dream of things to be. Erica Billups, that. And these are from Sam Pool's little sayings. The turtle. Another postcard. And then this picture. I love that saying. Lots of journaling space, like I said. And then a basket of fish, and that's what Carol did with hers too. I thought that was really cute. There's a little tuck spot here. My life is like a stroll upon the beach, as near to the ocean's edge as I can go. David Thoreau. And that reminded me of this little guy right here, standing on the beach with his bucket and his pail, and his dad's behind him reading the newspaper. Here's another illustration that you can journal on the back. And then from the Graphics Fairy. Some more stenciling. More of the birds and some washi. And I just clipped these 3 tags together. There's journaling space on the back of all of those. And then here's another one of those paint chips. This one's called Pool House. She was the sea, calm but so deep. And then this I made as a there's a lot of little things in here that you can put in the journal wherever you want. But I made it ideally, there's little tuck spots so that you could, whatever souvenirs you have, you can tuck in here. It's a bunch of different little pockets. Some small ones here, some things you can add to the journal. It's another postcard, some shells, some more. And then the back is another paint chip. And then this is from the front of one of those little books that they have at the like at Lowe's, where they've got show the different colors that are in the book. And I just grabbed it because I love the shells. And Carol Laws does this, where she puts paper behind something, so where you can journal on it. So thank you, Carol, for that idea. And then I added a little shell over here to add to it. And this is one of my photos that I have. Some more stenciling. Another pocket with the kids. Another couple of tags. This is from the Graphics Fair. I love, love, love this illustration. The voice of the sea speaks to the soul. And then there's another little tuck spot here with a tag. And here's another little guy. I love this illustration too, with his little sailboat. I said, better in the water. Some jellyfish. And then this is a piece of, it's spelled L-O-K-T-A, Lokta paper. And I love the sea fans on it, so I had to put that in. Another children's illustration. Some more tuck spots with journaling places, stamping, stenciling. This idea, and I cannot remember, again, I apologize, whose kit this came from, but it is wonderful because it just folds out completely. So you've got all this journaling space on it. And then it just ties shut, and I put the little stamp here. Some more stamps, original. More ruffle, flip. And this is the illustration, and this has the little turtle, the sea turtle. I just thought that was amazing. And then here's the little charms and the beads that go with that one. And there's a big tuck spot here from Paper Cameo, and another one of the envelopes, and another ticket, or tag rather. More tags. More stenciling. Avocado. More stenciling. And then there's another one of those little things from Wendy's Journal Adventure. There's a little bit of space on the back of that to write a secret message. And then this is made from a napkin. And there's a tuck spot here. And then there's I didn't glue it down all the way, so there's a tuck spot back here. And then this is the mermaid song. Lots of journaling space. Another little turtle here. And then this is Beside the Sea. More journaling space. The other side of that paper. And then these just look so pretty. It's more tags in here. Love this. Love, love, love those lavender shells. And then this is one of the little tiny CD cases. And there's a little picture in here. And it does come out. And you can journal on the back of it. And I tore this. This is the piece of vellum I put over the top of it that's been printed on. And I tore it. I saw Wendy did this in a tutorial, and I thought it was really cute instead of trying to cut around it. And then this is the back, and there's the music sheet down by the sea with more journaling space. And then this little tuck here. And you've got journaling space on the back of that. And then there's 2 cards in there. And then the very back says, "We are like seashells upon the beach, beautiful and unique, each with a story of its own to tell." So that's my journal. I loved making it. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch to the end. I know it was a long video, and hopefully it won't be that much longer before I'm back again. Thanks, everyone. Have a nice day.